first time as Judge Cho. Judge Cho, would you like to tell us who is enrobing you today?
My mother and my father.
Your mother and father, thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here today to share this very special moment. I never thought growing up that I would be someday standing up here and being addressed as Your Honor. 2 days after the election last year, I got a call from the governor's office, and I thought, wow, I'm gonna be a judge. 40 years ago, the same governor, Jerry Brown, had been elected governor right after I came to America. And I thought it was rather special that 40 years later, the same governor was appointed me. And I thought, you know, this milestone in my life, 40 years in America, I'm glad I could tell my mom and dad, guess what? I'm going to be a judge. And I feel like that was a big way to honor my parents. So I'm glad that happened. There were some discussions about my immigrant history. It's true. My father was a high school biology teacher. He taught high school biology for over 30 some years. And he was concerned because on a teacher's salary, it would be difficult to educate 6 children. And I was the youngest of the 6. And my father, though, I think he was somewhat reluctant to move because he had a lot of friends, he had a lot of colleagues, he had a way of life. But thankfully, I have an older sister, Annie, who's going to be singing later on, who bugged my dad, let's go to America. And I was only 8 at the time, so I didn't know any better, other than, it sounds like a great place, because anytime my aunt came from America, she brought us so much chocolates and spam, and I want to acknowledge my aunt. In Korea, you call people by their title, so I never really knew her name. She was just Texas Como. Como means aunt. Texas is where she's from, so she was always referred to as Texas Como. I later found out her name is Mrs. Gates. She's present in court today, and she sponsored our family, so we are here, so I'm grateful. Thank you very much. So when we landed in September of 1974, we went to a small little city called El Sereno in East LA. As you can imagine, it was quite a shock. I moved into a country where I didn't know the language and the culture, and I wanted to be American very badly. And without thinking about it too much at age 8, I wanted to be like everyone else and change my name. It happens all the time in immigrant families where they want to blend in so badly, they randomly pick names out of television. So we have Annie, Michael, Steve, Jenny, Susie, like, what does that all mean? Actually, I was delivered by my dad at home, and he named me San O. Those are 2 Chinese characters. San is for 착한 산, which means kindness. O means a jewel, like a pearl or jade. And it's a beautiful name, and I'm sorry that I probably hurt his feelings by picking Susie out of thin air. You're young, you know better, and you want to blend in, and you get tired of people making fun of you and saying, hey, son, okay. And so, that happened. And so I am actually thankful that my father made me. I also want to tell you a funny story. I was born in the year of the fire horse. It comes around every 60 years. And in Korean culture, it's a very bad year for a woman because it's a very strong symbol. And I think had I been raised in Korea, it would have been problematic. But thankfully, coming to America, fire symbol, fire, strong woman, it's okay. So, because we took the path to come to America, I think that changed the course of the curse into something positive. And I've been able to be accepted in a society where it's okay to be strong and intelligent, and I'm glad we came here. When I first came to Indio, I don't think Tom mentioned this, but there was a bet in the office. I didn't think I would make it. I think the give or take was like 6 months. I was kind of shy initially. I was kind of scared. And I think when you're young, you don't know anything. It's a natural feeling. But somehow, somewhere, I found the inner strength to do this job, which was rather difficult at the time. And I thank God that Alan Oberstein hired me because the job made me stronger, more compassionate, more caring. And I think the 10 years in the PD's office really helped me grow to be a better person, actually. So I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful for Rod Soda for the 10 years I spent working with him. He's such a great guy. You guys all know that out there. And he's been a very positive force in my legal career. When I mention Alan Oberstein, I can't forget to mention the fact that Alan Oberstein not only hired me and not only hired Tom Cavanaugh, but he's the reason why I am with Tom Cavanaugh. If he hadn't hired Tom, I would have never met him. I would be here. And he made a joke about what his friend said, and I didn't know he was going to tell that. I will share with you my first impression. So there's this guy who got hired. He walked in. I was impressed. And so I quickly picked up the phone, dialed Karen Cote, who was covering blank that day. We used to have to cover blank boards. And I don't know if Karen remembers, but I called Karen Cote. I said, hey, there's a new guy. He's here. I saw him. He's cute. I guess we were destined to get together. Tom's been an incredible person in my life and most supportive. And I am grateful. I don't think I could have done 20 years here without him, so I'm grateful for that. Going back to a little silly story, when I was young, my desire to be American was so strong, and I thought whatever was on television meant that's American. So while my parents would eat very delicious Korean food, I would open up a can of Chef Boyardee or SpaghettiOs. I wanted to be American, eat American food. And in life, given that history of my childhood, what I've done today is for the reception, which I hope all you attend, we're offering an Italian buffet, but on the side there's Korean food. And I recommend that you try it, unlike the stubborn little Cho who wanted to be American at the time. I thank you all for being here. I know that you are all very happy for me. I have had 20 years of good friendship. All the judges saw me grow up. They've been part of my life. And I have so many happy memories practicing law in front of them. I have great memories with the fellow defense bar, being there, joking around, being supportive, being sad sometimes together when things don't go well. I actually have a lot of prosecutors out there that I enjoy and like quite a bit. I think David Greenberg's here somewhere. He's been very supportive for me. And it's not always about fighting and being on opposite sides. It's about being professional, being respectful, and I always try to do that so we can all have a good working relationship. And I hope that as I get onto this bench, I hope I do a good job and earn the respect of my colleagues and the respect of all of you, and continue to do well in this job. I take my oath seriously, and I promise to do my best. Thank you so much. love of this country that we have as the entire Cho family.